Shoot. Shoot, everyone.
Toy Talk, let's vibe. It's the ultimate hangout. Chats about that rare find. Let's geek out. Movies and the figures. A passionate blend. Toy photography snaps. It never ends.
From robots to heroes, every kind we flippin'. Marvel to DC, conversation never slipping. Toy stages, set scenes, crafted so clean. In this plastic universe, we reign supreme.
What's up, everyone? Toy Talk. It's here. And we got Toy Addict 17. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing super well. You see my Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah.
Right. That's the movie, right? Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah. It's also a good shoulder exercise when if you have weights on there.
Right. Picture me at the gym like this. Doing this. What's going on, Chris? How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you.
Right.
It's been a while. And
Yeah.
we were just backstage chatting, lost track of time, but glad we could join. I'm glad that you're here, Danny.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I'm back.
Clintastic 4, Mr. Happy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm doing great, man. It's Wednesday. We're gonna talk about an awesome movie, and I'm here with you guys, and I'm really pumped. Unworthy Collector might be able to make it late tonight. We'll see. He has some family obligations. He's also a toy daddy, so we'll give him some slack for that.
Mhm.
But hey, boys, what's been going on? We were talking about like life stuff backstage. But what's going on? Like, what do we want to talk about here? Do we want to talk about toys? Do we want to talk about how we're making better financial decisions?
Why not both?
Let's talk about both. Yeah.
You know what's something that's awesome besides life?
What?
The fact that we're getting our official Superman trailer.
Oh my!
You know how exciting I am. Like, this is the time where Danny takes a pause from all the horror and says Superman all the way. Like that like, to me, I am super excited. I am so hopeful. Like, the poster looks great. The little teaser, teaser before the teaser trailer. I'm excited. I can't wait for tomorrow.
So let's talk about that a little bit. First of all, you're hyped for the movie, Danny. I know you're probably the biggest Superman fan out of the three of us. I love Superman, but I think you're a much bigger fan. What have you loved hearing about it? And then we'll go into like what do you anticipate is going to happen?
What do I love? What have I loved about hearing about it? I think it's just the approach of the character, right? All respect to Henry Cavill. I think he looked amazing as the Superman, and I always said, like, he's unfortunately, this is my opinion again, and I love Man of Steel. I just felt like, with the DCEU, they I suffered from a lot of like writing issues, like, and there were times where it didn't feel like the Superman we grew up knowing, and
Exactly.
It didn't feel that way. It felt like, I mean, in all respect to, Zack Snyder and that tone, because again, I enjoyed the tone.
Darker.
It was a little darker, right? A little more
darker,
and I'm okay with different. But there was something about the
that's like Superman.
Exactly, at times.
Like,
and there was something like you kind of missed that, Christopher Reeve, Reeve. Like, I'm still, to me, Superman from Christopher, the original movie, is still my favorite superhero movie of all time. It tramples all the other movies. Like, I love comic book movies. So that's like my number one. And then it's just like the simple little things. Like, I always make the example, like, of Superman 3. There's a scene where he's saving the boy from the machine that cuts the corn.
Oh yeah.
And like, he hears them, and then he goes to fly, and then he saves the kid, and like, he makes like the kid's like, oh, can we go for one more, like him fly him around. And Superman says, all right, I will, but next time I'll have to charge you. Like, little things like that. It's like, that's Superman. You know what I'm saying?
Like
bad
the
jokes.
sparks of hope and joyfulness are what we're missing for me in the newer Superman movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was no hope.
No,
right.
and it's
In
like,
fact, if Zack Snyder got his way, Superman would have turned to a murderer.
You know,
Like they would have done that
mhm,
nightmare movie,
right.
basically. He said
Yeah,
that. Like,
right. And again, I love the different approach. I just think for an approach like that
mhm,
to start off a universe would have been great as a like an alternate universe type thing, or even like a
right.
crime syndicate type thing, right?
Mhm.
But
Ooh, that would have been a good approach.
that would have been great, right? But I just think that with this hearing about, introduce and James Gunn is really good at just taking characters that nobody really cares about
yeah.
and making them fun and lovable.
Mm-hmm.
Weasel, like nobody cares about Weasel. I've never even heard of Weasel, and
Oh,
like
he's so
I
good.
really like him in Creature Commander,
Creature Commander,
Ooh,
and I love him. I like him,
great.
right? So
fantastic.
and like it's just like it's like I don't know. It's just the love that he shows. Like he did it with Guardians. He did it with Suicide Squad, right? Like
Mhm.
Peacemaker. Nobody cared about Peacemaker. Like
Peacemaker, yeah.
and John Cena sells that character. He delivers in that character. And it's just I'm so hopeful for like just the approach and like I love that he expresses that this is not an origin story. We already know the Superman
Yeah.
story,
Yeah.
right? This is more of like, a superhero who has to like face the world. He's in this world where, humans, he's got to find good in people, even when they make it so hard for him to do it. Like
Yeah.
that to me is like, okay, somebody's reading a comic book.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
excited and I'm pumped for it. And what sold me the most, even with these little teaser things, is what I like geeked out about. It wasn't even just seeing like Corn Sweat like flying, the little flying.
Was that
It
the
wasn't that.
song?
It was just seeing the Daily Planet,
Mhm.
that
Oh,
one.
that was
But what
awesome.
really, really got me hyped was the score and the
Yes.
homage to the fonts
Yep.
to the Donner movies. Like
I
that
will say
blue, I was like,
Well,
oh man, I'm
that
like,
that
oh,
is the one of the best title sequences.
yes.
That like just
yeah,
I will say the only thing I haven't liked so far is the font they used for the poster of it.
okay,
Mm,
Like it's just a bland serif, sans
yeah,
serif font. And I'm
yeah,
like, come on.
yeah.
yeah,
No, I totally didn't see the homage to
I
the
did.
Donner movie, like in terms of that type of font, and like
yeah,
I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. That's amazing.
yeah,
Even the undertones of that score of using the original Superman song, you
mhm,
hear it. It's so subtle.
yeah,
It's not exactly the original. Like it's like something similar enough to get
yeah,
that same
E-
feeling.
right,
exactly. It's yeah. It's definitely trying to give you that feel though.
right,
And it succeeded.
Like I just love, oh gosh, I don't know. And I'm trying to taper my expectations because I will tell
mhm,
you the best thing about Man of Steel was the trailer. I love that trailer. Every time I watched
mhm,
that trailer, I was like, wow, this movie's going to be awesome. Even when I watched it yesterday, I was like, wow, that movie's going to be awesome, but we never got it. So I
I,
really can't wait to see what this trailer is all about. Can't wait
mm,
to see James Gunn vision. You're absolutely right. James Gunn does a great job about writing characters and also just like characters that people don't care about and and putting a lot of emotion into
yeah,
you caring about them. Creature Commandos is incredible. The
yeah,
writing is top notch. There
mhm,
was a third episode that I was watching where I was like tearing up a little bit for the robot guy. And I
yeah,
was like, GI, not GI Joe, GI Robot.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I'm like, my goodness, why? Like he is, I was like, this is
mhm.
amazing. And then,
No, it's really good.
wow, we should
No,
talk about that one sometime.
I think another thing that I loved so much about this film is that it's you kind of could see, like the colors, man. They pop.
Yes.
Mhm.
There's something about this that it's not just that poster. That poster
Mhm.
that I don't know where that poster, that the
Let me pull it
official
up.
one. And
Mhm.
I saw it and and immediately as I saw it, I was online looking for it. I was like,
As a poster.
I gotta have this. I gotta have this poster in my house somewhere. And I was already thinking like, I need, like, we were talking about financial, like,
Yeah, I know.
accomplishments, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I need the hot toy, I need the figures, I need the statues, I need it all. Because even with like Man of Steel, like, all respect to like I love, like, honestly, I love Man of Steel. I really do. Man of Steel to me is my favorite DCEU movie. That is my favorite DCEU movie. And I love the different approach. I love, the best thing about that movie that I loved the most was Michael Shannon. As General Zod, I think Michael Shannon is my favorite villain in that whole universe, and that whole,
Yeah.
That version of DC. That was my favorite villain. I think Michael Shannon delivered in his role.
Mhm.
And it's just, this one, it's like, I love that we get to kind of like start over. And it's like we're starting with this, and I love that it's not we don't need an origin. We know the story. He's into his he's doing his thing, and now we're being introduced to all these other characters and all these other heroes. Right. Right. Oh, look.
Yeah.
And what I like about this is that it gives kind of a nod to the 1978 poster where it has more of the abstract elements. I have that poster behind me. I'm not going to get up and get it, but it gives me those nods that I really appreciate.
And even going back, even like looking at, even thinking about like kind of like DC kind of starting all over. Like, I'm very hopeful. Like, to me, Corn Sweat looks the part. The movie looks hopeful, looks fun. I mean, from what I've seen, it looks like he's trying to add all these. Again, I want to trust James Gunn. I just hope that, I'm excited for, I don't want to be too overly hyped for it, because I'm really going to be biased regardless. If God forbid, if it's one of those movies that's just not as good, I'm still going to be biased and say, I really love this movie because I'm Superman all the way. Right. I just really think that it's going to have a great impact, coming from, what we came from with, the Justice League movies. I just felt like those movies were so rushed, and they were playing catch up so much. This one is like, hearing him say, we're not just putting things out there, green lighting things. No, we're going to look at scripts and make sure these things make sense.
Yeah.
Like, I love that he says that. Like, we're not going to just put anything out there. Like, and I love that. And somebody, I love that they're listening to. I just hope like Warner Brothers doesn't get too involved and, start doing things, because usually, things like that happen. But again, I'm super excited. I can't wait for the trailer tomorrow.
Yeah, what I like about this is that Superman, like, there's not going to be any world building. Like with James Gunn, he's great at introducing characters already in a world, right? So we already know we're gonna have all these DC characters that are gonna be there: Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, Supergirl,
Metamorphosis.
Like, all these characters are gonna show up. I'm not worried about being like that they're gonna be too many characters. I know that he's gonna bring them in with a satisfying, but not giving you too much of each character, and it wouldn't seem like too much. I mean, we already know that he can do an ensemble movie. We already know that he can make something just so emotional that you're going to care so deeply about it.
If he can make me cry about Polka Dot Man, this man can do anything.
Yeah, right? Sure, right? No doubt.
Right. I'm excited. It's definitely if you're a Superman fan, or you're growing up watching the Superman movies, or even buying the comics. Again, my Superman collection tramples my horror collection. That's how much I love this character. I love this character.
I mean, let's remind everyone that when McFarlane, released Superman, every time you saw it, like, you bought the same figure over and over again.
Right. The first Action, the Action Comics 1000 Superman.
Yeah.
Like, I bought multiples. I felt bad because it's like, if it was one, I was like, man, it's like, it needs a home. So I would buy it. Like, yeah, dude. I have it's a funny story. When Justice League with Joss Whedon was announced, New York Comic Con was selling. It was like a spoiler. It was like a spoiler hat, like a new era hat, and it was the black suit Superman symbol.
Oh yeah,
it was leather, and I still have it. And I was like, oh man, it's a spoiler. Like, why would you spoil like the black suit Superman, and the Joss Whedon movie comes out, never comes out? I was like, what was the point of even doing this? And like we had to wait years until that suit was even introduced into a movie. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So like again, like there's little things like that like really irritated me. Like don't like Superman
Well, that was
died.
Warner Brothers. That wasn't necessarily
Like,
Josh Whedon. Yeah.
It was like, yeah, like keep it. Let James Gunn cook. Let him do what he needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Let me enjoy this time because I'm probably gonna watch this movie numerous of times. Like I'm probably gonna be talking about this movie for a while, and I'm again super excited. I can't wait till tomorrow. So
yeah, I can't wait. Hey, let's check out the chat. We'll go back into Superman, but I didn't want anyone who contributed to the chat to go unnoticed. KJ Smith, what's up, buddy? Yeah, you were first. Aerolist Agato, thank you so much for joining us and every time for supporting us. Diggs Figs,
Hey.
America's sweetheart, YouTube sweetheart. Old Grumpy Nerd, what's up, buddy? And we got Cap Lives in here. I'm hopeful. That's what you should hear when you're talking DC. Yes.
right.
And then Unworthy Collector. Here's a good story that never really. That's never really.
Wait till tomorrow. I have plenty.
All right. Well. Okay. Clint, what are you excited for about Superman?
I mean, nothing outside of what Danny's already mentioned. So,
and you were big fans of Donner's Superman.
Oh yeah, his cut of Superman 2 is one of my favorite superhero movies. Like
Donner cut for part 2. Okay.
Yeah, that was that one makes me mad for the original version that was released because like it was so much better how they originally planned it. So
yeah.
Because they had filmed Superman 1 and 2 back to back.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And yeah, and there was production behind the scenes problems with Warner Brothers, and they got rid of Donner while Superman 2 was in post production, and so they reshot over half of it. So
when the Donner cut came out, is that Superman 1 and 2?
No, it's just Superman 2, and it reinserted all the footage that they cut from the original.
Oh, the Donner cut is just Superman 2?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
But basically,
I have it too. And I didn't realize that was Superman 2. I thought it was Superman 1.
No, it's Superman 2.
Oh, okay. Remind me what happens to Superman 2?
Zod.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. That makes sense because then Bryan Singer made his sequel pretty much the sequel to Superman 2. Oh, interesting. Or maybe Superman 3.
Can I just say that Brandon Roth was a great Superman? I really like Brandon Roth as Superman. This Tyler dude from the show, I don't know if you guys have watched the Superman and Lois show.
I wanted to say that. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's like second to like after Christopher Reeves. Like,
yes,
he's the man.
Like that show. Did you finish it?
Yeah,
that show.
That last episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that show is one of the best Superman shows I've ever watched, and like it's a refreshing kind of retelling of Superman. Not even a retelling, but just him as a dad.
Yeah,
and raising two sons with an amazing relationship with Lois, who I felt was an incredible character in that too. Some of the best writing for Lois, and he is an outstanding Superman.
Yeah,
really good Superman. Like I mean, I guess. Well, I mean, spoilers, everyone. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to spoil it. Doomsday, yes. Right. They did the best they could with Doomsday for a TV show, and it looked incredible.
It really did look good.
And there was a lot of them. And the final form of Doomsday was awesome.
The fight sequences are great for a TV show.
For a TV show, yes.
For a CW TV show.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
Right.
And not only that, like Lex Luthor, I love that guy. I love that actor as Lex Luthor. Best Lex Luthor ever. Like badass, businessman, smart, like genius level. Not even genius level. Like he was genius enough to hire a genius to make the suit. You know, he didn't have to make the suit.
Right.
Oh man, what a great show.
No, it is. I'm pretty sad that it ended, but
Me too.
I'm happy that we're moving into a new era of DC that hopefully, hopefully we get characters like I can't wait to see Deathstroke in the
Yeah.
DC sometime in the
Wait, is he gonna show up in the Superman movie?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying as overall, like I can't I'm hoping to ever see him somehow in in the DC. In the new DC universe, like to see him, like because everything's connected now, like all the animated, the games, so
Yeah.
pretty dope.
Caplo says the black suit Snyder doesn't even do anything, unfortunately. In the comics, it has a purpose. It's a solar suit.
Like it did, they never explained anything. Tyler Hoffel. We can never say his last name.
Yeah, I feel like Kenny Sweats. That's good. What power level do you prefer for Superman? Unlimited or powerful enough to sweat? Would this be like fly or single leaps, or is it like? I mean, I don't know what a.
Yeah.
Is there what's like? I can't. What is there like a comparison to? Like power level wise, Superman's always just unlimited, right?
Yeah, he's defying gravity.
I mean, I like an unlimited Superman. Did you guys see the unused steel suit that the actor would have used in season 4?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Did it look like steel?
Oh, yeah. Look really nice.
Really? I want to look that up.
They had one of these kids had the new, like an inspired New 52 Superboy suit. It was like the all black with the lines. It was really dope.
I mean, at the end of the show, that's where oh, I see.
Yeah. For a second there, I wasn't sure why you paused, but I know you're like, you're like on the, you're like on the tab, but I was like, you all right, Chris? What's going on?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm looking at that. So this is it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh
yeah, it looks good. I was so close to getting one of those Doom figures at one point and making it like a not a steel. Remember? Yeah, like a steel.
Doom the video game.
Yeah, like Doom the video game. McFarlane had made some, so I was like, man, that would be a nice like custom steel, or before he was steel, like before they introduced, because at first you thought it was like in the beginning you thought it was like people assume it was Lex and it wasn't Lex, but I was thinking about using that, but I'm glad they made a steel. McFarlane did. He did a really nice one.
Yeah. The Mayfax steel is really good too. I like that one. But yeah, that was a great show. I don't know. I definitely got emotional when Superman died. Spoiler.
Right. Or Lois died.
Lois died.
Spoiler.
Not spoiler.
Not spoiler.
Oh yeah, that is a spoiler. Yeah, no, that was cool. Like at the end, they showed like how he lived his life.
Yeah,
they didn't leave anything on the table. Nope. You weren't wondering how this happened. You're like,
nope.
Oh, okay.
They said we're gonna end this show and we're gonna end it the right way. It went from being like a Superman show to like, what the hell are we watching? Are we watching Grey's Anatomy?
You're right.
So damn sad. What is going on here?
You're like, oh my god,
what is this? I was like,
is this Grey's Anatomy? Grey's Anatomy doesn't know how to end.
Right.
Grey's Anatomy has not ended.
It was like, I thought we were gonna get like a Lois and Clark ending, like The Notebook, like she was gonna remember him and they were gonna lay together. I was like, don't do it. Please don't.
I mean, okay.
It got close though.
Right.
Everyone, hard spoilers to the end of Lois, Superman Lois. Just hard spoilers because I really want to talk about this piece. Like, so they do a narrative of the last 32 years of how Superman lives, because because something happens in the show, and he only has 30. He only lives for 32 years,
Yeah.
and then it shows him. He's like, yeah. Then the cancer came back, and then Lois dies, and you're like, oh my god, that's so sad. And you're like, how are they going to bounce back? And he's like, then. And then it shows like a dog, and he's like, I have a dog friend. But then we took a lot of walks. We saw a lot of sunsets. We watched a lot of movies. I'm like, where's this going? Like it keeps going. And then I was like, okay, you lived with a dog for a while. It's like, but then it was the end. And you're like, oh man, okay, fine.
But then I
But
woke up,
and
and
then I woke up,
there were more
and then
walks.
I saw my life. And it wasn't just my life, it was everyone that was in it. You're like,
Right,
"Oh,
right,
right.
right,
Ah."
right. Because and then in the end, you see the kids get older, they start their families, and it's just that
And they have kids,
they have
and
kids, and it's
kids,
and
and a
kids,
lot of
and more
kids.
kids, and just generation of kids. And
That's
then
small town for you.
and then here's the scene where like he's gone, he passed away, and his kids are there, and they open the door, and there's Lois
Yep.
looking with her
In a
nice
red suit that
red
full
Kryptonian
circle,
dress.
it's the very first red dress that
The
Clark
red
bought her.
Right. Oh, I thought it was like a red Kryptonian like cocktail dress or
No,
something.
that was the very first dress that Clark bought her.
And then it's
It has
like,
to
and
be
I'm
yeah.
like, see, that was the scene that I was like, "Ooh, right in the heart. Don't do
Yeah.
it to me. Don't do it." It's like enough is enough. I'm telling you, it
Yeah.
reminded me of The Notebook. It's like you should have ended the movie with her remembering him and them having that dance, and that's it. No,
Yeah.
you want to add the scene where they lay together and die together. It's like, oh, that's not enough. We want to really get you. It's like, thanks, CW. We appreciate you.
Yeah, oh man. Well, what I'm really hoping for is like a really fun DC
Mm-hmm.
universe, which I think James Gunn can do.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did hear is that obviously the Batman from the Pattinson Batman, the Battinson is not in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
So what I heard was that the Batman that's going to be in the DCU is going to be different from. It's not going to be like necessarily a grounded Batman, but and I don't want to say a fun-loving Batman, but a Batman that's like from like Batman the animated series where he's like doing flips and stuff like that, and he has Robin, all that stuff.
Well, because they do have that movie coming out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's that one called?
I think it's called
Is it-
Dynamic Duo, but it's
Oh, is it
just
Dynamic Duo?
but I think it's just about
Oh,
forget which Robin.
that one's about Nightwing and Red Hood.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. That's a cartoon though.
I don't think it's
I thought it was
I
a
think that
cartoon.
I thought that one was live action.
Oh, really? Well, that would be awesome, but
Mm.
I thought it was a cartoon. You look that up. Well, I do want to. Well, Clint's looking that up. I did want to talk about it. Just a few. This is about toy photography, and I want to talk about a few accounts. Now, Danny, you shared Batty.cam.
Yes.
Cool. Wow, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this
Big
stuff.
Batman fan.
Yeah. While
Yeah.
we're talking about Batman.
Yeah. So this is the first account that I had picked to shout out tonight. So shout out to Batty.cam. Fantastic Batman photos. A lot of different McFarlane Batmans. As you can see, that's is that the Ben Affleck Batman with the motorcycle?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. And then you see the Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond.
I'll buy any like Batman Beyond figure.
How dope is this? Is that Speeding Bullets
I love
inspired
that one.
shot is really cool. So
that's like that's the comic book.
Yeah. So I just wanted to shout out this account. It's I was scrolling through it and great, a lot of great photos, big Batman
All
fan.
these are
they're
all these are
fantastic.
comic inspired.
Yeah.
Here. These are all comic covers.
They're all good too.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, give them a follow. Give them a follow.
Fantastic shots.
The next one we wanted to shout out was our boy Rel Collects. We got to meet him at Legions.
Yes.
This guy's a sweetheart. I love this
He's
guy.
awesome. I love how he's like always on the chat
Yes.
reminding us that there are no Cody crybabies. He's a big wrestling fan, and big supporter of everyone. He's just such a positive dude. Again, I had the privilege of meeting him. I feel really, really bad that I was out getting coffee and he was actually leaving, and he wanted to take a photo with me and Unworthy, but he ended up taking a photo with Unworthy. So I think that was even better than just taking a photo with me too. So yeah, Rel's awesome. And again, I wanted to shout him out because it's not just toy photography. I love the photos with, like you just saw, just photos. Remember when we first started? A lot of us started these accounts, and we were never posting photos, like taking pictures, doing toy photography. We were showcasing our hauls, right? Like putting photos of like stuff we bought. Like I started like that. We used to anytime I got something new, I would always like showcase, hey, just got this. So I love that there's a little bit of a mixture in his account. And again, awesome guy, super supportive, and hella funny. He's so great. Like I love him. I love interacting with him in the chat and stuff. So he's always so fun to have around.
I 100% agree. All right. Let's look at one more account. I wanted to share. Where is he? Yes. I think it's Opuchum.
Opuchum.
I really like his stuff.
Yeah. Nice.
Really just great photos. This one was this is a nomination for top 10 this week.
Nice.
I like his use of natural lighting in a lot of his shots.
Yeah, like this.
Mm-hmm. Well, like just some of his outdoor shots, like his Zelda shots.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Zelda shots are good.
Yeah, that shot is nice right there.
Sorry, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of anime inspired, right? Big anime fan.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Well, hey, give these guys a follow, check them out, and yeah.
Awesome.
Let's see.
Photos.
Grown men aren't supposed to be called sweethearts. You call people sweethearts like all the time.
Right.
Yeah, Yimbo is a sweetheart. You're right.
Yeah.
Unworthy, you're the biggest sweetheart.
Right.
And that's true. Clint, did you find anything about the dynamic duo?
It's gonna be it's gonna be animated for 2028.
Okay. Whoa, 2028? That's so far out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, everyone, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about a movie that's been around for a very long time. So if you haven't seen it, tough.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking about Batman Returns. Now, if you didn't know what Batman Returns was, it's a little film by a director named Tim Burton. It was released in 1992 after the massive hit Batman, starring Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer, and unfortunately, Christopher Walken was left off the poster. But it's okay.
Yeah.
He didn't play a character known in the Batman universe until he played this one.
Right.
What an amazing, like, honestly, living up to the hype of that Batman movie was going to be a tall order. It was going to be really hard because that was kind of like, I don't want to say it was lightning in a bottle, but that was such a phenomenon that I don't think you could replicate, especially like the sales of the movie afterwards, like of the cassettes that were in stores, like that, everyone went crazy for it. And leading up to the making of this movie, it got to a really rocky start. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I was reading actually some of this, and I guess originally Warner Bros. Had hired this writer Sam Hamm
Mhm.
to write up a mock-up of Batman Returns, and he had a very different story.
Oh
It
yeah.
had Two-Face in it. It had Catwoman in it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're supposed to go like the main plot of it was supposed to be them going after like buried treasure or something like that.
Yeah, basically they were killing the wealthiest in Gotham, going after some secret like Gotham treasure.
Mhm.
And what was it? I'm reading this. It was a Christmas themed movie. There were some Santa assault rifle Santas. And then he got back. Then somehow Burton came back and fired him and brought on his own Batman crew, and they did
No.
another write up. So, but
Thank
it was
God.
very different. It was definitely very different.
Thank God.
Well, like it almost got to the point where Marlon Wayans was going to be Robin.
Mm.
That was actually Burton's idea.
Yeah, like he was cast and everything, and even gets residuals from this movie because he was that far along in casting before they finally cut him.
You said that before. I've totally forgot that. That's crazy. Did he do a suit then?
I think so. Like, I actually don't know for sure, but he was pretty much in that role before they cut it.
Yeah.
And same thing with obviously Christopher Walken's character was pretty much supposed to be Two-Face.
Christopher Walken was Christopher Walken was supposed his character was supposed to be Two-Face. I did read that.
Yeah.
I want like Marlon Wayans is kind of ageless. So, but he's also like he's like 35, like in every single film that he's in. Like he looks 35. Like he doesn't look real young,
Right.
and he doesn't look real old, right?
Yeah.
He's the same. So
how old is Marlon Wayans now? He's like what? He's got to be like 40s, right? Late 40s.
It has to be more than that, right?
Really?
Because 1992, how old was Marlon? Like
he wasn't 35.
In Living Color, he was like 20, right? So he has to be 50. Clint's looking.
Yeah, 52.
Wow, 52 years. Doesn't look 52.
I know.
He looks 35.
Yes, he does. Still.
Looks 30. I love Marlon Wayans. I can never see him as Robin though.
No,
like, but then again, growing up, like now watching like Batman Forever and Batman Returns, I could say like I can never at this age, like I could see the generation now saying I could never see Chris O'Donnell playing Robin. I can never see it. But like growing up, you weren't thinking like that. Like you were like, man, it's freaking Robin. He's in the movie. Like you weren't thinking like that. So
I love the suit.
You know what it is? I'm so used to In Living Color, and I'm so used to the Wayne. I used to watch the Wayne Brothers show all the time.
Yes.
And it's just knowing him as like a comedian, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know about Robin. I don't know if that would. I mean, maybe he probably would have nailed it. Probably would have done great.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's talk about first reactions. Clint, what do you think?
Best Batman movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you said that before we even watched it.
Yeah.
Best Batman movie.
Like when I think of like sorry.
No, go ahead. No, finish.
Like when I think of like quintessential Batman vibes, I immediately think of this movie.
Yeah.
You can really do. Yeah, you really do feel where the cartoon got all of its like.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I don't think it influenced it because those were in production at the same time. So I I think they just
Really? You don't
both
think
happened.
so though?
I don't-
That could have easily been an episode
Oh,
on the
absolutely.
animated series.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I do know like they did have to change the designs of Catwoman and Penguin in the show to match the designs of the movie afterwards.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Okay.
think Catwoman was supposed to have like her purple dress costume,
Oh.
and Penguin was more like taller and stately, like the 1960s Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So those got altered after the movie went into production. So
Got it. Anything else about just watching it? Do you when was the last time you watched it when you rewatched it?
oh, I probably 6 months ago.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So
Yeah.
Danny?
First reactions watching it, it's such a fun movie. Like it's definitely one of those like it's kind of like it's kind of like Edward Scissorhands. It's like a Christmas movie to me. It's always going to be like a Christmas. You can, right? I think the cast was great. I think Michelle Pfeiffer, like she's delivers so good.
Man.
She did such a good job in that.
So
Danny
good.
DeVito, like she said,
Danny,
so
yeah, and then you see Dan DeVito, and you're like, oh,
right. It's like it was just so good. Everything about it was good. The tone. I felt it was at times I felt like it was a lot darker tone than the original. I felt it was a lot darker.
oh yeah,
Like even in that opening scene was just like
Yeah.
really dark. And
I was watching it, and my wife was like, Batman Returns. This is like the really scary one, right? And I was like,
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
that scary. And then I watched it, I'm like, she's like, yeah, that's scary. I'm like, yeah, you're actually that is kind of scary.
well, that's how all the McDonald's toys got recalled
right.
Yeah.
because
Right.
of the content of the movie.
Yeah.
Right. And then I love how Tim Burton recycles a lot of his like scores because you hear a lot of the Edward Scissorhands themes in it, and it's like I could see. I mean, now I can't picture like it snowing, and I hear those like songs in my head now, like that. Those like Edward Scissorhands Batman Returns scores. Like, but again, first time watching it. Super excited. Was happy that McDonald's had the toys, the movies. I think I remember, if I could remember, I can't remember if they were selling it. I remember there was a time where McDonald's was selling VHS tapes. This was a long time ago, and I believe that was
movie.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was one of the movies. I remember one of them being Addams Family, Charlotte's Web, and then there was some other ones. But if I'm not mistaken, I think Wayne's World was also one. Can't remember if Batman Returns was one of them, but I do remember that. Do remember McDonald's and like, buying the toys and just killing, like just burning that VHS. We watched that movie so many times.
Mm-hmm.
So many times. And again, Michelle Pfeiffer. It was amazing.
Like I have to say, like this was one of the movies. Well, the first Batman movie I watched so much I could quote every single line from that movie. Like when it was coming up, I would just say it. And the same goes for Batman Returns. I watched it so much that I again. And so I'm watching. I'm like, oh no, I would just like say what they were gonna say next. And I'll be honest, I hadn't watched this movie in years, like a long time. Long time. Like I want to say maybe since I was little. Like it's been a long time. So when I watched it, I was like, oh my goodness, there's so many things I did not get when I was a kid.
Right.
Like in terms of the plot, the characters, just the appreciation of the acting. Right. So I'm watching this and I'm like, could this be the greatest Batman movie ever made? And I think it is.
Yeah.
Like there was not one moment where I was like, I'm bored, or there was not like it was literally one of those moments where I was on my phone and then it just starts and I kept slowly putting my phone down because I wanted to see everything about this movie.
Right.
And it gave you all the great Christmas feels. It really did.
Oh, absolutely.
From start to finish with Batman's last line, like, God bless, what he said? It was say, God bless
goodwill towards men.
Yeah, to men and women.
And then just that slow pan up of the city
Right.
Yes.
with the snow falling. Just
Right.
And I was thinking too, like in the first Batman movie, Gotham was a great character, right? Like the
Mhm.
city of Gotham. In this, Gotham was still a great character, but it was scaled down quite a bit, don't you think?
yeah, I think they did a lot more close sets than like
Yeah.
matte
Yes.
paint. I did
Yes.
notice that too because a lot of times, like it just felt claustrophobic with the sets.
Yep. Yep.
But like the design of them were fantastic. Like,
Yes. Catwoman's apartment,
Yeah.
loved it. Like the alleyways, like all the alleyways that were there, like even the fight on the you're right, it was claustrophobic. The fight on the rooftops with Catwoman and Batman.
Mhm.
It was so simplistic, but I loved it.
Right.
Man, but
yeah.
let's talk about this acting because Michelle Pfeiffer.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing is, the originally Annette Bening was cast
Yes.
as Catwoman
Right.
before she had to withdraw because she was having a child. But
Yep.
yeah, I couldn't picture anyone else as Catwoman in this.
No. She was so wonderful.
Mhm.
Like
Right.
she played that character so well, and um I like the evolution of that character. I loved her the Selena Kyle like
Right.
secretary, like
Mhm.
just not confident, very scared of the
Yeah.
boss. Like
And
like
then like the Catwoman, her Catwoman persona being a response to the trauma of her being
yes.
pretty much
Right.
being almost killed. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Right.
So and just
Yeah.
seeing that like throughout the film, like the doubt of her plans,
Yeah.
her slowly coming undone with all of this. Just an amazing character arc for this.
It really it really was. It was first of all beautiful writing, but she just turned it on.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. She
Like
sure
turned
did.
it on.
I've always liked that scene. I know it's really brief, but like that scene where she like gets thrown out the window and she's laying there, and it's there's something with like her skin tone in the snow. It was like it's weird, right? Like it
Yeah.
just blends so well. I don't know. Maybe it's just the tone of the movie is just great. I love everything. Like again, the whole Christmas kind of scene, time, it just works so well with this movie, and like the characters were perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
And then
So
oh, and then like that build up to the breakdown in her apartment before when she
yeah,
starts
Yes.
wrecking everything.
I love that.
It
right,
was I want that garbage disposal, by the way, that she somehow stuffs every single one of those stuffed animals.
right.
Yeah.
They don't make those anymore.
Yeah.
Josh
Josh
Brown.
Brown, what's up, buddy? Diggs Fix, pretty sure they had 5 Goes West McDonald's exclusive. Oh, that's pretty cool. Cat Lives doesn't necessarily agree calling this one the greatest Batman movie. Cat Lives, which one would be the greatest Batman movie for
Yeah.
you? Man, I don't know. This was you know what, this was just a lot of fun. Oh, can we talk about let's talk about Danny DeVito. Great
Oh,
Penguin. Great,
fantastic.
great. Like, did any of these characters get Oscar nods? Like, probably not, right?
No, but Danny did get nominated for a Razzie, which I don't get why.
A Razzie, like the
That's-
worst.
No.
He
Yeah.
was so good.
Like I think he went over the top too much at times, but I think the character called for it. But
Yeah,
Right.
it did.
I mean, at that time too, and then also too with the approach. Tim Burton has a weird way of doing things,
Well,
right?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
oh, they totally let Tim Burton go full Burton on this.
Yeah. So it was okay. I mean, it was, to me it was okay because it's like, all right,
Yeah.
The
this is a
fish.
Tim Burton movie, right? And I mean, yeah, he definitely delivered in his part, and just the whole like looking for his parents and finding out his parents are gone, and like he was like throwing, like I love that, and how he's just like, then he has the kind of the circus with him, and
Yeah.
they're like, it's great. Like Danny DeVito was just fantastic.
Can we go back to his dad,
Yep.
Pee Wee Herman?
Right. Can we? Right. Well, listen, spoiler alert. We'll get there, but I'm gonna probably say it again. That is my MVP of this movie. You cannot
Oh,
put Paul
okay.
Rubens in any movie, and then I would never call him the MVP. I
Okay.
almost forgot Paul Rubens was in this movie, and
So
I'm
did
so happy.
I, and then I watched it.
And
I
I'm
was like,
so
oh my
happy that
god.
they even brought him back for the Gotham series as the Penguin's dad. They brought him back.
Mhm.
They did
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought Paul Rubens back as the dad
in
again,
that
like he
TV
was
show?
in the TV series.
Mhm.
So I know they will never do it. I know it's I don't think they will ever do it because it's such a grounded, different style of Batman. But like, man, like if Matt Reeves, if you want to throw Paul Rubens homage on the next Penguin series, that'll be great. Throw him in there somewhere. I don't care if it's like somebody watching the Pee Wee movies. I don't care what it is, but Paul
Yeah.
Rubens is definitely my MVP. Man, I almost forgot he was in this movie until I
I
watched
know.
the movie, and I was like, Paul Rubens.
Yeah.
I was like, MVP. I was like, Cal who? I was like, forget the actor. You got Paul Rubens, and he barely did anything. And he was like, he did anything.
Yeah,
He did some heavy lifting in it.
Yeah, he
did.
did
It
some
was-
heavy
it was
lifting. Yeah,
good.
Paul Rubens definitely is my MVP of this movie.
Some great humor in this too, like
Right.
when they have, I'm not saying this was the humorous part, but when they had the penguin in the like the cage and like he pulls the cat through the
Right.
thing, and then Paul Rubens and his wife look at each other and they just take a swig of the drink afterwards. Like that subtle humor that Burton has, like
Right.
there's some really good ones. Capliv says, if it's live action, then it's the Batman, which is a great film. If we're talking in general, then the Mask of Phantasm
Yeah.
or the Red Hood.
Those
Under
are-
the Red Hood.
And so-
Interesting.
And that's why I also love the Batman, because that gave me closer vibes to this one than like any of the Nolan films. Like
Yeah.
in terms of style.
Mhm.
So
I
that's
am
why
with
I
you.
really like.
Clint, I am with you 100%. I said this many times on our show, and I've said this many times. I am all for the Matt Reeves world now. I'm happy for the Nolan and for the Keaton days, but those days are gone. I am so for now. That's the reason why this new penguin, is definitely my favorite. Like Colin Farrell's penguin is definitely my favorite penguin.
Oh my god, that show was
Definitely
so
my favorite.
good.
Mm-hmm.
That show was
Yeah.
everything I did not think I wanted. Like I didn't even know why I
Right.
wanted it.
Right. Who would have thought you would say, hey, I cannot wait to watch the next episode of The Penguin. Because
Of
you
the
almost
Penguin.
forget. Because you almost forget, but it's so good because you almost forget that it
Yeah.
is a DC Batman related character, because it has so many like mobster vibes to it. And then
Yeah.
it's like, I love that they take, not to take away from Batman Returns.
What's up, Trevor?
Because again, these are two different versions of the character. But I love that they finally take a villain and they make you love them. Because I've always said I don't like when like comic book movies or movies in general try to explain too much and make you like the villain so much, right? I don't want to like the villain, but I love that they did that, and they did it so well because they made you like him in most of the episodes. You're like, man, I'm with him, but then you remember why you dislike him so much, and he's so
that
messed
end.
up.
Oh my god,
Wow,
the ending.
so great, man.
16 says Penguin is fantastic. The Batman is my second favorite. What's your first? We were saying that Batman Returns is probably one of our favorites. It doesn't get
Right.
enough credit. Love being detective.
Right.
He still needs to finish the Penguin. Amazing so far. Now in Christmas magic time, so I'll have to wait till January. Yeah, there's no magic in that one.
Right.
The magic is Colin Farrell being the Penguin. That's
What
really
is your is Batman Returns your favorite? You guys' favorite Batman movie? Yours is. How about yours, Chris? Is it your favorite Batman movie?
I really love the Nolan films, but I love them like as one entity, you know.
Okay.
There are parts of like each film that I'm like, I don't like this, I don't like that. But I just love Nolan's take on it. I do have to say that it probably will have to go just Batman Returns after seeing this as one of my favorite Batman movies.
Mhm.
I never thought I'd say that, to be honest. The Batman, I mean, the Batman's great. I think it's number 3 for me. I think
Mm.
Batman, the very first one,
First
is my
Batman, yeah.
second. Like, I
Yeah.
watched that film over and over and over
Yeah.
again until like
Mhm.
my cassette did not work. Like,
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm the opposite. I am a big Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is my favorite Batman movie, but I
yeah,
still, in my opinion, I still feel Jack Nicholson is still my favorite Joker. He
yeah.
is still my favorite Joker. And just like Batman Returns, I gotta give
Sure,
homage.
for
Just like
sure.
Batman Returns gave me Paul Rubens, the Batman 1989 Batman gave me a soundtrack with Prince in it. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Anything Prince and Paul Rubens, I'm for 100%. But yeah, The Dark Knight definitely. That actually, The Dark Knight is the movie that made me get back into comic books.
Yeah. You know what? I'll have to put. I may have to put Dark Knight in there somewhere too. Like, I
Dark
really
Knight is
like the Dark
Oh,
Knight too.
I'm going through and making my list right now. So.
Or maybe Dark Knight is better than Batman for me, but I did love, like, there's some love here for Rises, Dark Knight Rises.
Dark
I
Knight
like
Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. Like,
No, I really did too.
I didn't think it was terrible. I
No,
liked it.
I really did too.
Yeah.
I just had a lot more problems with the story of that one. Like
Right.
it felt like an unearned ending to that series.
Mm.
Because like in theoretic, because actually in that series, he'd only been Batman for like a year and a half and then was gone for 8 years. And so like within that context, it didn't really feel like
Yeah, there's certainly pacing issues I feel like Nolan runs into with some of these movies. Definitely, and then you don't know how much time has passed, and then like so much time has passed, and you're like, "Whoa, really? Wasn't that just 6 months?"
yeah.
I actually
Um,
like from the Nolan. I actually like Dark Knight is my first, and I would put Batman Begins as my second.
For me, it's
Batman Begins is a great movie.
I love
yes,
Batman Begins.
For me,
I
it's
really love
flipped.
Batman.
For me, it's flipped. I like Batman Begins first, and then The Dark Knight.
Okay.
I might have to go with that. Man, now my Batman movies are like all
Yeah.
screwed up.
Well, I mean, they're different. I mean, in overall, like, yeah, it's. I mean,
it can change daily, but
yeah,
except for
it
my
can.
last place one,
Right.
Sure.
Which is your last place one?
Batman Forever.
Oh,
Oh. Okay.
Toyac wanted to smack you across the. It's like, don't you ever say that.
No.
It's
Batman, yeah, no.
It's abysmal.
How about the Batman with Adam West?
Not Batman and Robin.
I enjoy it for all the wrong reasons.
Okay.
But like I would watch that in a heartbeat over rewatching Batman Forever.
Okay. I can understand that.
So
all right. Well, hey, let's get into some categories.
Yeah.
MVP for Batman Returns. Clint.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, it's Michelle Pfeiffer. You, Danny?
Well, it's Paul Rubens for me.
Well, that's your sixth man.
No, that's my MVP. But I'm gonna pick another MVP because
no, it's good. That's good.
No. Michelle Pfeiffer. I agree. Michelle Pfeiffer is the MVP. I think she did a phenomenal job. I think she was the one that, like, after, like, anytime I watched the movie. I mean, again, you're a young kid. You're watching this movie as a woman in all leather. That's and she did fantastic. Like, now I can appreciate the acting too. So, but she was great.
Six man. Now, six man is defined as anyone in the movie that did not have a huge role and maybe had a small role, but every time they showed up on screen, they were on all cylinders. They were amazing. I mean, I'm up for an argument for this one. Is the Penguin on screen too much to be considered six man?
Yes, because Batman is on screen less than the Penguin.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so
you're right.
I like Alfred. Alfred, I would say, is mine.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I have a off the wall choice for mine.
Alfred.
It's a twofer. It's the poodle lady and her dog.
Right.
Because they are the only henchmen in this movie to not fail at their task.
Yeah,
Right.
he executed.
Yeah,
Right.
so those are my off the wall choices. For six
My
men.
okay, here's mine. This also might go for best scene. It's the guy. It's when Penguin comes back and he has this grand plan. He's like, "We are going to kidnap all of the orphans," and then all of a sudden, there's a clown in the background. It's like, so don't you think that's a little?
It's always-
And then he shoots him, and he goes, "No, it's a lot." That's my best scene.
He was my second choice.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Isn't that a little? And that was like, even when I was little, like, and he said, "No, it's a lot." Like, I did chuckle. Christopher Walken's a good six man, no doubt.
Yeah.
He's a good six man.
But I
Kaplan
think he's in
says,
it
"I
more than
would."
Batman.
Yeah,
So it's like, I don't think he would qualify as a sixth man, or else.
Right.
he was great though. Christopher Walken. We didn't talk about him enough. Like, great. And that was, I feel like that was kind of near peak, like maybe after, like a little bit post peak Walken. He looked great. Or was that at his peak? I don't remember.
When was his peak? Because
So that was 1992.
yeah,
I would have Dark Knight in my top spots if Gotham looked like Gotham and if Batman didn't feel like such a side character. Okay. I mean, hey.
yeah.
Yeah. If Gotham didn't look like Chicago, I guess. That's where they filmed it.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to LVP. Oh, is there an LVP here?
Yes, there is.
Let's hear
Yeah.
it.
Shrek's son.
Oh, God. Good call.
I'm like,
Chip.
Right.
Chip.
Right.
and like they hype him up as the future of Gotham, and he's just like, ooh,
He did nothing.
literally nothing.
Did nothing. We went from having Bob from the first movie and to having
Bob.
this. Like,
Bob.
how do we go from Bob to this?
Bob, when I watched that, I felt really bad for Bob. I'm like, Bob did so much for the Joker.
Well, yeah, just like Victor did so much for the Penguin.
Yeah. Gun.
But
Are you in agreement, Chip, Danny?
Yeah, Chip sucks. Forget Chip. Chip, you suck.
But hey, he did play Zangief in the Street Fighter movie, though.
You
did?
suck even more. You suck even more, Chip.
Chip played Zangief?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. I gotta look that up. Best scene, mine is isn't that a little?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you say that too?
Which is your best scene?
When Penguin, tells everyone to
Nope.
nap everyone, and he says, "Isn't that a little?" And then he's
my
like, "No,
favorite scene. My favorite scene is the rooftop scene with Selena Kyle and Batman. That is my favorite scene. Classic Batman and Catwoman interaction. I love it. It was great. I love the whole.
Right, that's a good one.
I love the scene where he like hits her and she's like, "Would you hit me? I'm a woman." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." So I'm like, yeah. So
you know what?
So conniving, so great.
I take that back. My favorite scene is when the Penguin attacks Gotham for the first time, and it's at the tree lighting ceremony.
Oh, whenever I see that scene, I always think of the first level of the Super Nintendo game.
Yeah.
I never got through that level and threw away the game. So for me, best scene is the scene at the party when they find out their identities.
Oh, yeah. Great scene.
That scene was like
great scene.
And her giving the really legitimate reason to take him out, and then just the subtle reveal of it,
Yeah.
and just the performances of that,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. Do we need to fight? So good. So
And
good.
then also, side note, that scene also has probably the best original song in the entire Batman series by
interesting.
Susie and the Banshees. Like,
Oh,
it's on the end credits, but like that song is probably one of my favorite songs, like
Oh,
film songs.
okay.
Like, it is, yeah.
Love it. Any unanswerable questions? I mean, for me, it's like, since they didn't make a third with the well, I guess it's not an unanswerable question. Catwoman does live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does live.
I think the only unanswerable question I had, why did Batman even have that vehicle at the end? I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah.
Like,
Have the sewer vehicle.
yeah, like, it just,
It's a very specific transportation mode.
yeah.
Right.
That you can only use in one. Like, I don't even know if you can turn in that thing.
Well, technically he did, because he did spiral through the tunnel
Okay.
to dodge the missile. But that one was like, so this was that vehicle's sole purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I don't have any unanswerable questions.
I have one. Why was Chip a character? Why was he even there?
Why was?
All right.
It's true.
All right.
Any nitpicks?
Honestly,
Yes.
I have none. Go ahead, Clint.
So this does feature one of my favorite Batman gags, because we know, like, he wears the black eye makeup when he has the mask on. But like the split second before he rips off the mask, you see that he doesn't have it on anymore, and it's the awkwardest thing seeing Batman without the eye makeup on.
Yeah.
For that split second, that was it's a jarring cut.
I don't really have any nitpicks about the movie, honestly. It's just, again, it was a different time. Watching it now, like, honestly, like, I think
well, now we're all older than the Penguin is in this movie.
Right.
How old is Penguin supposed to be?
33.
What?
Because it says 33 years later.
Yeah.
When they get through the flashback.
Yeah, but he was like 8 then, wasn't he? Didn't he grow to be 8 when he was in the cage?
He was a baby.
Maybe he was like 36. Like, he had to have been 3. He like pulled a cat through the thing. A baby doesn't do that.
He cried like when it. I think probably the telltale sign is when he does the drop into the sewer. It's a baby cry.
It was a bassinet. You're right.
Yeah. So he was okay, my friend.
Maybe that's a nitpick.
Right.
Why? Yeah. Why was a 3-year-old in a bassinet? But of course, it did look like a penguin, I guess. So. I do have this last question. I don't know. Like, we thought of this last time. I can't remember. Who are they in the Laserverse? I don't know if we have any characters.
Chip is the one that gets scrapped. Chip is the character that Chris was like, he like all those little balls of like paper that are in his garbage. That's all Chip. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Chip is Shitstorm, or I forget what we've named him now.
Chip is just fecal matter. Yeah,
fecal matter. Yes.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. I like that. Chip is fecal matter. All right, what are we giving this? We'll start with you, Danny.
I'm giving it a 5.
5. Yeah.
Like, I love this movie.
Yeah,
I love this movie. This movie's not getting anything less than a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great movie.
Clint.
5.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give him my first 5.
It's a vibe.
It's not perfect.
It's
I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, it's not perfect for me, but
Yeah,
man, I had a great time. 5 minus 1 for Chip.
yeah. Screw Chip.
Laserverse does need a penguin.
It does.
All right.
I did think of a penguin-esque character.
What is it?
The emu.
That's a great one.
He's a little pot belly, but he has like super like long legs.
The emu.
And I think he has like a twin brother that we call the flamingo.
Right. I kind of like this flamingo guy.
But basically same design, but in pink.
All right.
Emu
Emu
equals penguin.
Chewy. What's up, Chewy?
Hey, what's up, Chewy? How you doing, buddy? And then we got Flamingo as his brother.
Yeah.
Emu. Okay, we're gonna have to think about that.
Oh,
I like that one.
Here's a new pitch for Chris.
Basically, it would be like the same build as Stiltman.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
Does he run fast though?
I don't think penguins run fast.
Emus.
Well, emus do.
Oh, emus do. Okay.
Think emus are like the opposite of penguins.
Mm-hmm.
They're like really big and stoic.
What's the opposite of Chip?
Danny.
Toma! Welcome back.
You like that? That was quick.
I love it. Love it. Great one.
Oh, you're right. The flamingo is a Batman villain, right? I think so. It was in Batman and Robin, when Dick was Batman. I think.
Yeah, it is a character.
Okay.
Well, hey, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I thought it was a good pick. What do we want to pick for January? Oh, Clint, you had an idea? Is that right?
I have one suggestion.
Okay.
No. I had one, but I'll let Clint. I have one.
No, Clint. Clint's. No, Clint's.
It's your turn, dude.
Yeah, you choose.
Seeing as we got the trailer for it already, I want, if it's okay with you guys, I would love to do 28 Days Later.
Okay.
I would love to review 28 Days Later. I'm excited for this new one because I really enjoyed the first one.
Okay.
I'm on board.
Rumor, and then Diggs actually sent me a thing. So you know this movie because Sony, I believe the article said that Sony is like not allowing for this movie to stream anywhere. So the prices to the Blu-rays have gone up like hundreds of dollars.
It's not. Wait, 28 Days Later is not streaming.
28 Days Later, I forget. Diggs had sent me a link to it. It's
so how do we watch it?
No. People still own some people still own that Blu-ray, but they won't allow something about. I'll send it to you. It's something about the company that owns that film won't allow some places to. Diggs, help me out here. But yeah. If you go on eBay now, some of the prices are I've seen it going for $50.
I think they've worked that out because I think
they just landed a deal.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so they weren't allowed to stream it anywhere.
Yeah, they weren't until 2 days ago.
Wow,
it's on Prime.
Nice. Well, anyways, 28 Days Later. If you guys are down to review,
I'm totally down. Danny Boyle is one of my favorite directors.
It's such a it's a zombie movie, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not. They're not zombie. They're okay. We could get into it if we talk about it, right?
Yeah, no. It was right before. It was what Walking Dead was based on, right? The idea of man being the enemy, right?
Right.
All right. Yeah, I can't wait. Terrible
Yeah.
idea. Hold on. Terrible idea for a movie not streaming and the DVD skyrocketed.
Well, I think that you can rent it now digitally.
Yes.
So
you're
they
right.
did announce that.
I'm happy to do that because I like that movie a lot.
It's-
Yeah, 28 years later, coming out
Yes.
soon.
And it looks great.
By Danny Boyle, which I'm really excited for. I'm like,
so
yes.
happy. I can't wait to watch this. I love 28 days later, 28 weeks later. I love this whole series.
I'm like really surprised Daniel Boyle came back for this one.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the movie that really introduced like zombies running.
Yes.
The Dawn of the Dead did it after.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember any other zombie movies where they were like running that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Then the Dawn of the Dead was really scary because they were fast too.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, hey,
all right.
you guys
Next one. 28 days later. I like it. Dig it. That's pretty great.
do it.
You know what I saw the other day?
Wicked.
Wicked, yes, which I loved.
Wicked is really, really good.
Yeah, Wicked was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. Can't wait for this part 2. It was he might be my new favorite director. The director of Hereditary.
Ooh.
I watched Midsommar.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a strange
Wow. Like quite disturbing.
Oh yeah.
And very
Ari Aster, right?
Yeah, Ari Aster. Ari Aster. Like that guy. I love what he does with his movies.
I love the excitement. He's like, that guy.
That guy. Next movie he's gonna do, I'm watching it.
Yeah, let's do it. We should do Wicked.
He did that one with Joaquin Phoenix earlier or I think last year.
Yes. That came out?
Yeah, last year.
Oh, okay. No.Chewing loves Wicked too.
5 stars.
This movie I'm excited for. I'm excited for this movie, Christmas Day.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Yes.
I can't wait to watch Nosferatu.
That's gonna be a great one.
Yeah.
What an all-star cast too.
Yeah.
Like amazing cast.
I didn't know that was Johnny. That's Johnny Depp's daughter in this movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. She was in a Kevin Smith movie. What was that one? Wasn't she? With her daughter? With his daughter? Like, and Johnny Depp like makes a cameo in it. It was that time where Kevin Smith was doing his like own independent like films after like The Walrus and Yoga. Yes, thank you, No.Chewing. Yoga hosers. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it.
The little sausage monster guys.
Yep. Hey guys, beautiful show.
Yes.
Thanks so much. I always love this. I love hanging out with you guys. This is just
I'm glad I was able to
for
come.
me. And thank you all. Thank you everyone for joining us. Danny, what do you plug in?
A Worthy Addiction live tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had a guest, but unfortunately they're not going to be able to come on. So you'll get an hour, 2 hours of me and Unworthy just being silly and being us. You know,
you'll get a good story.
Yeah, you'll hear a good story. I got a couple of good stories for you. Yeah, but we're 9 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, live on YouTube. Check us out.
And you might see me pop in for Damage Control, so you never know.
Right. We'll get yeah. If you're lucky, you may get Clintastic and he'll show up.
That's awesome. Clint, how about you?
Watch A Worthy Addiction tomorrow, and that's about it.
I love how that's just the ongoing thing where that's about it. Just Clint, check out my photos. Oh, Clint, hold on. Before we go, we didn't get a Clint hot photo tip, but I do want to tell you something. I need to show you this.
Okay.
Because I made this a while ago, to be quite honest, and everyone here, you all should hear this, because Clint gets his own song.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, whoa, yeah. Fantastic 4 got a camera in his grip. Posters for the plastic, got them toys looking slick. Click, clack, watch the action figures come to life. Each shot a masterpiece, kids' dreams in the strife. Fantastic's coming through, better jot them down. Angles lighting got the toy scene on the crown. Miniature magic, turning figures to fame. Caught in that moment, never ever the same. Toy snapper Clintastic, he's the photo king. Small world story making minifigures sing. Action, reaction, every scene pure art. With Clintastics in hand, you'll know where to start. Pose them like pros, give them life in the night. Street light glow, turning shadows into light. Backdrop beauty with the flick of the wrist. Each photo's a saga, too good to resist. Step into the scene, set them up just right. Close up precision, every detail so tight. Props and drops, the tiny world he rules. Clintastic 4, the grandmaster of the tools. Toy snapper Clintastic, he's the photo king.
All right, it goes on. But
I like it.
if when the next segment, I want to make a video, but Clintastic hot tips.
Hot tips.
That's the segment.
I thought we were going to call it Clintastips.
Oh, Clintastips. Sorry, yes.
Clintastips.
But you got to say it fast. You can't break.
Clintastips.
Yeah. Well,
man.
what do you want? What do you want? What do you want to know?
What do you want to know? Or are you asking me?
Yeah, like what do you want me to tell you how to do?
Whatever you think might be. It could be anything. It would be great. It would be great if there were some weeks where it would just have nothing to do with photography.
Okay.
Here's a Clintastic.
Hot. If you ever want to make your own like ice scenery, hot glue and iridescent saran wrap.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There's a Clintastic.
Let me actually show you how that turns out.
Okay.
Clintastics.
Was that like a gag? Did you just like log off? Let me show you how that's gonna go, and then you just
Goodbye.
That's my joke. Wait, are you gonna come back?
These those little rap things sound like the Kids Bops. Remember the Kids Bop?
Yes.
they took all the songs. They took all the songs with the naughty words and they like changed them all up.
It's a little bit harder than Kids
Right.
Bop.
To the window, to the wall.
You can see it.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay.
That looks like a Superman crystal.
Mm-hmm. You could easily make one.
Oh.
But yeah, basically you wrap it into a cone and then slowly apply layers of hot glue. Make sure it's the clear one. And you're good to go.
Fantastic. You see that? Fantastic.
Fantastic. You gotta whisper it.
Yeah.
Chris. What? Oh man. Do it again, Chris.
There it is.
Do it again.
There it is. Your Fantastic.
You gotta do it then wink gaggle.
Fantastic.
Oh man, those are dope, Cliff. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool.
And they're somewhat see-through, so you can shine lights behind them.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Get a really nice ice effect.
Yeah, if you put a nice blue lighting, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think there's an Iceman shot from last year that featured them pretty heavily.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
yeah,
Mm,
quick and easy.
awesome.
Pretty cool, man.
There's your Fantastic. Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Love it. You got your own song, your own
Yeah.
segment.
You know,
You don't need
segment.
to plug anything.
Not
Check us
gonna
out on the TPC Top 10 for Toy Daddies. Myself, Yimbo, reviews everything. No chewing. We're gonna have some sort of holiday thing set up for Monday. Yes, we're streaming on Monday, 2 days before Christmas. We all
Yeah.
celebrate. So it's gonna be a little bit fun, and we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks guys. Really appreciate it. Before we go, I got a great story.
Toy Talk, let's vibe. It's the ultimate hangout. Chats about that rare find. Let's geek out. Movies and the figures. A passionate blend. Toy photography snaps. It never ends.
From